Greetings and welcome to my interplanetary and geopolitical update. For those that don't know me, my name is Ishmael Perez, and I am the author of those two amazing books behind me, The Secret Government, Invisible Architects, and of course, Our Cosmic Origin, both which restore very vital information back to the Earth. And of course, they're also available on Amazon. I want to extend gratitude for everyone that's on here and for everyone that's going to watch this on the replay. Without you guys, I wouldn't have a podcast. Thank you guys so much for being here. Now, I have some very good information to share with you guys. There's been some sort of misunderstanding regarding the different levels of Space Force. As you guys know, everything is compartmentalized. And that also explains why Pete Hegseth did convene the meeting to end the compartmentalization, which is going to lead to eventually to a public disclosure. Now, before I get started with what's really happening, especially with the arrival of 3I Atlas, as it is scheduled to reach its closest proximity to the Mars colony prime areas, and of course, you guys know the positive secret space program within the last few years has cleaned out the entire corruption syndicate that was once also stationed on the Mars off-world colonies. I also wanted to thank Starcadian. I see he's here making sure we keep the high vibe in the chat. And also, let's just get right into it. Let's just get right into it. All right, guys. So recent cosmic developments have revealed that members of Solar Warden, the Mars-based interstellar defense and exploration program, have been holding secret diplomatic councils with representatives aboard the great emerald craft 3I Atlas. Now, this has been going on for the last couple of days, and in the next 2 days, representatives of Atlas are going to be meeting on the actual Mars off-world colonies. The meetings are of a monumental importance as they mark the first official intercolonial exchange between human off-world forces and advanced star nations that are now openly cooperating with the Earth's ascension, or they have been, of course, for a very long time. Present at these meetings or at these councils are, of course, the Lyrans, the elder architects of all humanoid, which is human-like, civilizations across our universe. The Andromedans are there in attendance as well, the masters of higher dimensional science, and of course the Arcturians, the guardians of interstellar consciousness and advanced healing technologies. Together, they embody the cosmic family that seeded life across countless systems and are now stepping forward to guide humanity into its rightful place in the galactic community. In addition to these star races, we also have scheduled delegates from the Association of Worlds, which is a unified council representing benevolent civilizations across the quadrant of our galaxy, which pertains to our local star system cluster, that are also attending. And then among them is the Jupiter Command, which is an alliance of ancient overseers who have maintaining the balance and security within our solar system, and of course, whose headquarters is on Jupiter's moon, Ganymede. Their response underscores the seriousness of this convergence that is about to take place, and it has been taking place, as revealed in previous lives. These meetings have been ongoing for the last couple of weeks, beginning with the Jupiter Command, and they're not merely a meeting. This is a treaty. It is a treaty-forming event that is going to prepare humanity for disclosure and integration with the greater cosmic order. So, purpose of these councils. The discussions have centered around integrating Earth and Mars colonies into the broader interstellar network, securing the solar system from remaining regressive forces, ensuring that no remnants of the dark syndicate or even AI infiltration, especially from the corrupt Federation, disrupt the planetary ascension process. Activating, of course, starseed genetics through LICO transmissions as 3I Atlas approaches closest proximity to the Earth at the end of December, that will accelerate, for those that are ready, the next phase of human evolution. And then the larger significance of these meetings that are taking place, and again are going to continue to take place in the next couple of days, is to end the Earth's isolation and quarantine. The Mars colonies, which was once a hidden military off-world outpost, now serves as the first bridge between humanity and the higher civilizations of the galaxy. Solar Warden, once tasked only with defense, is being reshaped into a diplomatic and spiritual emissary force for the entire human race. 3i Atlas, with its Lyran leadership and the Andromedans and the Arcturian delegates, alongside the Association of Worlds and Jupiter Command, are representing not only cooperation, but the dawning of a cosmic renaissance that is scheduled to take place here in our solar system, right? This is becoming a unified stand against parasitic AI forces and a coordinated path towards humanity's liberation and ascension. Now, there were a few things that took place, but luckily it malfired, and that has a lot to do with the compartmentalization within Space Force. Okay, and I'm going to get into that as well. I also wanted to remind you guys, before I get into the juicy intel, that my October classes, consisting of 4 courses, well, each course is 4 classes rather, begin the 3rd week of October. All right, for only $100, you guys get 4 classes. That's only $25 a class, where I break down every level of the ascension process, the different techniques that will help you accelerate your ascension, and the knowledge behind it, so that you guys could be well equipped and prepared for the great shift of the ages. Not to mention my groundbreaking work, Our Cosmic Origin, breaking down the entire cosmic infrastructure and the different levels of advanced space age civilizations, the different genetic structures, as well as the different councils, and not to mention 998 billion years of cosmic history for only $100. Again, each class consists of 4 courses, or each course consists of 4 classes. All right, you could blame my dyslexia for that. Anyhow, all right, guys, go to my website, ourcosmicorigin.com, to secure your spot, and I'll see you guys in class on the 3rd week of October. And just remember, guys, that classes are very interactive. So it's like you're with me on a live Zoom and we're interacting, okay? So on September 19, 2025, Elena Rodriguez from the MIT Institute pulled back the curtain on what may be the most staggering cosmic event in human history, drawing from whistleblowers inside the U.S. Space Force and leaked MIT documents. Rodriguez painted a chilling picture of an interstellar object capable of defying known physics. And of course, and it was also able of surviving an impact due to, again, miscommunication within the different compartmentalized levels of Space Force. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. Comparable to the detonation of 15 hydrogen bombs. Okay, so you guys are probably thinking, where is Ishmael getting at with this? Well, this is the event that took place a few days ago, which is part of the reason why Pete Hegseth convened that important meeting. This is an event that apparently is shocking a lot of the people within our institutions, okay? According to Rodriguez report, a previously classified Space Force test within the lower ranks, not within the cosmic clearance, bear in mind, was carried out on September 28th, 2025, 3 days ago, as part of what they called Operation Eventide. And this is a program that was created to stress test what they call the alien object, okay? Because even within Space Force, they know it's not a comet, right? Atlas. So a projectile of unprecedented energy, which is what we would consider a scalar type of kinetic weapon, estimated at 75 hydrogen bombs equivalent to, was launched at 3i Atlas in a deep space region when 3i Atlas was still traveling from Jupiter to Mars, okay? Ground-based observatories and the Deep Space Advanced Tracking Network expected the object to fragment or veer off course. Well, that's what they thought, okay? But instead, the opposite occurred. Instead, the 3i Atlas absorbed the impact like a sponge, taking in the kinetic energy blasts like nothing. like Confederacy, okay? Confederate, is that the right word? Confederacy, you know, that stuff they throw? Confetti, like confetti. So Rodriguez reported, then over the next 48 hours, it also reconfigured its structure. In other words, it went from changing from a fragmented spiral to a crystalline lattice. It reconfigured itself within 48 hours, okay? So according to the lower level Space Force sources, this is not a natural body, okay? Or at least according to that operates within the parameters of the laws of physics. This is an adaptive advanced object, okay? That is perhaps thousands of years ahead of our technology. So MIT and Space Force apparently have, you could say, they're integrating data at this point, documents providing over to a science paper report, stamped top secret, ORCON and NOFORNN, show that a joint MIT Space Force task, codenamed Project Kellos, has been studying 3I Atlas since its entry into our solar system in, September 2000 or August 2025. And the team concluded that Dr. Helena Voss, now this is not her real name. I am not allowed to reveal the real name of these people, but this is a name that they are also known by. Dr. Helena Voss, an MIT astrophysicist, who is the principal investigator of this, and along with Dr. Rena Solvay of MIT, who is a quantum materials, you could say, analyst, and Lieutenant Commander Julian Wren of the U.S. Space Force Orbital Reconnaissance Corp, and of course, Major Elias Cho of Space Force and Systems Analysis. And this is what they leaked, okay? The leaked intel indicated that 3I Atlas is composed of self-healing metamaterials. They used the word meta, right? Which is, again, a very advanced type of technology that we can't even fathom at this time. It is, they considered it, or at least they compared it to an alien quantum lattice, okay? End of quote. Capable of reconfiguring itself on the atomic level, they said. So in one classified memo, Dr. Solvay described it as a living piece of technology, a cosmic organism built to harvest and repurpose energy blast. All right, so this thing is invisible, right? It cannot be penetrated, apparently. I told you guys, it is coming from the center of the galaxy, and it was launched by the Guardians, all right, as revealed in my previous live. For all my new subscribers, I would watch all my lives for the last 2 weeks to kind of, make sense of things, okay? It's not just surviving, they said, okay? This, what they call this cosmic organism. It is learning, okay? Elena Rodriguez's exclusive interview. Rodriguez featured an audio from a blurred voice interview within a Space Force officer station at Cheyenne Mountain Complex, which is the command center known for its what? Classified space tracking. And the officer claimed, what we're seeing is not an asteroid or a comet. It is an advanced living biocraft. It is using the energy from our test to build new structures inside itself. Wow, that is fascinating stuff. We don't know if that's a weapon or a signal, they said. We just know it's responding to us, end of quote. Well, Rodriguez closed her statement with a stark warning by saying, if this object is an emissary, a probe, or something worse, we may have already triggered its next phase. 3I Atlas is not an inert visitor, right? It is awake. So, a classified project by the name of Kellos, which of course kind of clash with the upper echelons of Space Force, which are levels above cosmic clearance, leaked slides from Project Kellos showing briefly a report before being blurred out at government request due to what? Several explosive findings, okay? The first thing that they've uncovered before it was covered up was an adaptive energy utilization ability. This is coming from this report, okay? that 3i Atlas literally converts impacts or radiation into structured power, okay? Describing it as a zero-point photonic influx of sort, okay? They also said that it acts as a nonlinear time perception. In other words, the sensors inside 3i Atlas energy field record distorted time signatures as if the object exists partially outside our temporal frame. Wow, okay? So it's probably going in and out of dimensions, which explains why it kind of disappears sometimes and they can't detect it, okay? They also leaked its something to do with its encoded geometry. They said that the object's reconfiguration abilities after the impact form a perfect tetrahedral fractal, which is a geometry associated with energy amplification in theoretical physics. So this is perhaps the most shocking line from the leaked, you could say, slides that read, "We are no longer observing 3i Atlas. It is observing us." That's powerful right there, my friends, okay? Now, following the science report, which was, again, completely left out of the books 2 days later, or at least taken out of circulation, Space Force issued a TAR statement denying unauthorized disclosures, but did not deny the existence of 3i Atlas. And this happened again before yesterday's meeting in Quantico, Virginia, okay? So, Elena Rodriguez has since stated that she has more tapes and that a follow-up exposes the real thing, okay? The real reason why Space Force has been tracking the object since August and what it built after observing the strike. So, if even a fraction of her reporting is accurate, which it is, by the way, 3i Atlas may represent not only the most significant discovery in human history, but also a potential turning point in our relationship with extraterrestrial intelligences. Now, and this is the reason, the real reason, not what we saw on the media. This is the real reason why Pete Hegseth convened this emergency meeting, because this thing occurred 3 days ago, okay? So, as you guys know, that for decades, the U.S. military activities in space, right, have been cloaked in layers of secrecy far beyond even the highest levels of national defense classification. Within the U.S. Space Force, this secrecy is not monolithic, but deeply stratified, operating under a system of compartmentalization so strict that entire branches remain unaware of its parallel programs. This division has shielded the most advanced projects, including those linked to Solar Warden and the Galactic Alliance, from day-to-day operations of rank and file personnel. However, the incident involving 3i Atlas, this interstellar object, is now being recognized as a benevolent ally in the highest levels and has exposed the dangers of such secrecy. Miscommunication between lower-level Space Force units and cosmic clearance as to why this incident occurred a few days ago. Programs nearly triggered an interstellar diplomatic disaster, prompting an unprecedented meeting on September 30th, 2025, yesterday, led by Peter Hegseth, with representatives of the Galactic Alliance in attendance. And this is when the televisions went off. And yes, even Commander Valianthor was there. So according to sources familiar with this structure, the Space Force operates on a tiered compartmentalization system, which they said it's okay to reveal for the first time. So the level one, and this was actually discussed yesterday in private, level one is known as tactical operations, okay? And that involves personnel that are responsible for satellite defense, orbital surveillance, and kinetic weapons. These officers work with conventional space assets and have no knowledge of the interstellar programs. And then we have level two, considered advanced systems. And this is a level where engineers and analysts who manage experimental propulsion and surveillance platforms, but are told that they are strictly black budget human projects, which is what the Alliance is using to spy on the deep state and the cartels, right? This is the second level. And then we have what is known as level 3 within Space Force. Now, level 3 within Space Force is known as cosmic clearance, or they are known as cosmic clearance programs, rather. Okay, this is an elite cadre of officers and scientists who are kind of like already well versed into the off-planet initiatives, right, including Solar Warden, which is a covert interstellar fleet operating beyond Earth's orbit, and of course, interstellar diplomatic protocols with non-terrestrial civilizations. So these are the programs that are considered level 3, okay? And this is where the Solar Warden admirals and generals reside, which is the highest echelons of Space Force. So this stratification ensures operational security, but also creates information silos so complete that those on level 1 have no context for the activities of level 2 and 3. And this is why the meeting yesterday happened. Okay, this is the real reason why the meeting happened, in case you guys didn't know. Okay, so while lower level Space Force members believe that most advanced craft are still chemical or ion propulsion based, which is very primitive, those with cosmic clearance, known as level 3, right, or those that are associated with the Solar Warden fleets, have known that Solar Warden operates beyond faster than the speed of light. And they also practice or have implemented field displacement vehicles, using hybrid energy drives and cloak stations throughout our solar system. Well, these technologies, developed with the assistance, of course, of the galactic partners for decades, perhaps for centuries, ahead of publicly known aerospace capabilities, are the reason why this meeting took place, okay? The secrecy surrounding Solar Warden exists precisely because such technology, if revealed prematurely, would destabilize geopolitical and nullify current military balances of power up until yesterday, my friends. Because as of yesterday, one second. I forget to drink some water sometimes. Okay, so again, in response to the September 27th incident, right, regarding the personnel at the level 1 tactical operation branch of Space Force who authorized a kinetic strike against 3i Atlas, believing it to be a hostile or potentially invasive interstellar object, yesterday's meeting had to happen to bridge the gap between those 3 levels of compartmentalization, okay, so that we don't do this again. Well, unfortunately, up until the 28th of September, or yesterday, the 30th of September, lacking cosmic clearance, level 1 people had no knowledge of Atlas's status as a recognized ally, not only of the Galactic Alliance, but of the Earth Alliance as well, okay? And not knowing that it had already established an ongoing quiet communication within the highest levels of cosmic clearance. Well, the strike, which again was equivalent to 15 hydrogen bombs, was absorbed harmlessly by Atlas, which reconfigured itself without retaliation, okay? Yet the incident was considered by cosmic clearance officers as a near diplomatic catastrophe. But luckily for them, you know, the Lyran mother starship is very benevolent and foresees things before they happen so that they could countermeasure it. And of course, understand that this was a matter of miscommunication between the 3 levels of Space Force clearance, okay? So apparently they didn't know. They were following standard planetary defense protocols at the first level. Well, a senior Solar Warden liaison speaking on the background stated, but if Atlas had responded differently, we could have been at war with a civilization that is perhaps a million years ahead of us. Well, lucky for us, they're not, negative. They're positive, okay? So the real reason Peter Hegseth convened this meeting was to seal that gap between the different levels of Space Force so that this doesn't happen again, okay? And this is why members of the Galactic Alliance were also in the meeting yesterday, okay? So, as you guys know, yesterday, Peter Hegseth, acting as a liaison between the U.S. Space Force public leadership and its Cosmic Level 3 Clearance Division, convened an emergency meeting at a classified facility in Quantico, Virginia, and present were high-ranking Space Force officers from Level 2 and Level 3 Cosmic Clearance, all right? And, of course, members of MIT, scientists of the MIT that have been studying the situation, attached to Project Kellos. And for the first time openly, my friends, representatives from the Galactic Alliance were also there in attendance. And luckily for the Earth people, they were all humanoid, all right? So they didn't look like little green aliens, like Commander Valiant Thor. He looks like a combination of Ricky Ricardo and Elvis in his prime. Very, very good-looking guy. Anyways, so the Galactics apparently were in human form, okay, in yesterday's meeting. The meeting stated its purpose was to bridge the disclosure gap within Space Force and prevent further uninformed actions against allied interstellar entities. You guys hear those kitties?
Yeah, I just told them we have.
Yeah, we inherited, thanks to one of the Galactic Jedis who's probably watching the live, we inherited 2 little white kitties. They're only 2 months old.
They're figuring
And
it out.
yes, I was able to get approval from my landlord. I did text my landlord ahead of time. So I just have to give some sort of deposit for having pets. And I just wanted to welcome these 2 little white kitties who are vessels of the Lyran Armada here in the flesh. And their names are Lotus and Rue. Okay, let's continue here. So during the session yesterday, a senior Galactic Alliance emissary, whose name has not been disclosed, well, his real name at least, but within the inner community network, he goes by the name of Elithar, okay, reportedly addressed the assembly directly by stating, Atlas is a guardian, not a weapon. It is here to stabilize our solar boundary. Do not strike your allies out of fear. We will guide you. End of quote. Well, Hegseth concluded the meeting with a directive for a phased internal disclosure program, beginning with step 1, which is to educate the lower level personnel within Space Force about the existence of benevolent interstellar presences under strict NDA until, of course, we get the green light for public disclosure, which is where it's all going to be heading, okay? Step 2, to provide non-sensitive briefings on Solar Warden and its role as a defensive diplomatic interstellar fleet. And, of course, step 3, which is to establish a permanent interstellar relation command to coordinate future engagements with objects like 3i Atlas. Well, the 3i Atlas incident that happened on the 28th of September has become a case and study within the perils of compartmentalization. While secrecy protects sensitive programs, it also leads to catastrophic misunderstandings when different levels of command operate with incompatible information sets. So as the phase disclosure plan succeeds following yesterday's meeting, lower level Space Force officers will soon learn what only a select few have known within the higher levels: that the Solar Warden exists, that the Earth has interstellar allies, and that objects like 3i Atlas are not intruders, but partners in safeguarding our solar system. Well, for the first time in history, a U.S. military branch is on the brink of a controlled internal disclosure process of the cosmic reality that it has guarded for decades. This is great news, guys, okay? Now, furthermore, Okay, furthermore, let's talk about the Atlas Convergence, the cosmic summit that is scheduled to take place tomorrow and on the 3rd of October, as 3i Atlas stations right above the surface of Mars. So this is about about establishing the parameters that will lead to a full-on disclosure on the Earth's surface, which is great, okay? This is a meeting of unprecedented cosmic significance that is scheduled to take place again in the next couple of days on Prime Aries. Now, for those that don't know what Prime Aries is it is the main off-world colony that was initially established by the Interplanetary corporate conglomerate, which was the negative fleet working with the dark fleet. And then, of course, now it's been under the operation of the positive military program known as Solar Warden. So that's what Prime Aries is. It is the main Mars colony. So throughout the decades, it was known as the Fortified Main Defense Command of course, our solar system located on Mars. But this summit brings together intelligent beings, not only operating from Atlas itself, but high-ranking officials of Solar Warden and the recently returned 24 Jedi Admirals from their deep space expedition across the Milky Way. The purpose of this meeting is very clear, my friends: to discuss the disclosure of advanced cosmic intelligence to Earth's population and to chart a path for Earth's formal re-entry into the galactic community after thousands of years of isolation and quarantine. And of course, after thousands of years of isolation, quarantine, and manipulation by the dark Anunnaki, who still operates underneath Israel. He's like, he doesn't want to get off me. Okay, so they're scratching a little bit because they're still getting used to us, but it's okay. You know, they're only, 2 months old and they're still getting used to their new home. Okay, so the purpose of this meeting is very clear, guys. It is to discuss the disclosure of advanced cosmic intelligence to the Earth's population to end the quarantine. So the setting, Prime Aries, which is the main colony on Mars, which is also known as the Primary Defense and Command Facility, has long been the headquarters, now ever since they again dismantled the negative programs of Solar Warden's interplanetary operations. So situated beneath the surface of Mars, because the atmosphere of Mars is still uninhabitable. So yes, these off-world colonies are actually inside of Mars and protected by multi-planetary shielding. Okay, Prime Aries has functioned as a hub for military strategy, diplomatic engagement, and interstellar intelligence coordination. So this is where humanity's most powerful off-world forces reside, alongside secure docking base for advanced spacecraft, high-frequency communications arrays, and quantum archives that store records of Earth's off-planet activities dating back centuries. And all of that intel is scheduled to be released to the Earthlings as well, letting us know what these off-world programs have been doing for the last 80 years in secret. I can't wait for all of that. Anyhow, Prime Aries was chosen for this summit due to its strategic location, neutral diplomatic status, and role in orchestrating the Earth's defense posture within our solar system. So, among the most anticipated attendees are the 24 Jedi Admirals, who are legendary commanders who embarked on a classified expedition across the Milky Way galaxy for many decades, bringing liberation and peace to all of those underdeveloped primitive worlds that were unfortunately enslaved by Enki and the German Dark Fleet, the German secret space program. Okay, and I guess I should do a whole presentation on the intel regarding some of those activities and operations that took place all throughout the Milky Way. So their mission involved forging interstellar alliances, studying advanced civilizations, and of course, returning with critical intelligence. Now you're probably thinking, whose mission was this? Okay. the mission of these 24 Jedi Admirals that were tasked with liberating many, many worlds throughout the Milky Way involved also forging interstellar alliances, studying advanced and primitive worlds all across the Milky Way, and returning with critical intelligence about the different types of worlds out there, the potential threats, as some of these worlds are in their beginning stages of developing AI, and that's a no-no. And of course, the opportunities for the Earth when we disclose this information to the general public, okay? So that's the intent. These admirals that are working in the highest echelons of Solar Warden are more than just military off-world leaders, my friends. They are multidimensional strategists. They have been trained in both advanced warfare and spiritual disciplines, which means they are adherents and students of the Law of One teachings. Well, you have to be. Every advanced, mature spiritual civilization has to be aligned with the Law of One. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to cooperate with other peaceful, benevolent beings. Well, the recent return back to our solar system signals that the mission is actually complete and that the time for the implementation has arrived. This is great news, Galactic Jedis, okay? Their insight will be critical in guiding the Earth through the disclosure phases and reestablishing its role in the cosmic order. So, central to the summit is Atlas, of course, which is a living biointelligence that originated, which I revealed in my previous presentation, from the center of the galaxy near Sagittarius A, right? That was projected from what? For those that watch my previous lives, Aurelius Prime, which is the main stronghold of our guardians that exists at the center of our galaxy, right? Which is what? Highly advanced interstellar, or may I say galactic civilization. So the beings who operate Atlas are post-physical intelligences, but they do have the ability through the lowering of their frequency to go into our reality, right, and materialize physical form, existing beyond standard third-dimensional frameworks. And they've acted as silent stewards of galactic stability for eons, monitoring interstellar affairs and, of course, intervening when planetary systems teeter on collapse or awakening. Now, for the first time in recorded history, guys, the operators of Atlas are meeting face-to-face with the returned admirals of Solar Warden's leadership on prime areas tomorrow and the 3rd, okay? Their arrival is marking a turning point. The conversation is now going to be shifting from the silent observation to direct collaboration. So, in addition to the Jedi Admirals and the Atlas delegates, several powerful figures from long-established galactic councils will also be present in the next couple of days. Among them is Commander Corridor of the Association of Worlds. For those that have taken my class, Our Cosmic Origin, you know who I'm talking about, right? A neutral coalition, the Association of Worlds, is a neutral coalition dedicated to preserving galactic sovereignty, non-intervention ethics, and harmonious planetary development. And so Commander Corridor's presence indicates that the Association of Worlds' formal endorsement of the Earth's re-entry in our interstellar relationship was approved in 2001. Okay, and again, this is information that has been very high level cosmic clearance. Okay, and it's now coming forward. Well, you guys are getting first dibs here. Eventually, it's going to be released to the general public. Also in attendance in the next couple of days at the Mars meeting is Commander Valiant Thor of the Venusian Council. And of course, all you guys know that he's a well-known emissary of peace whose temporary residence on the Earth since the 1950s. And yes, there is ample evidence that he actually stayed at the Pentagon for a few months when Eisenhower was in office. You know, it's still up until the present day, guys, still It's very, he's still, you could say, underclassified, his presence by most Earth governments, of course. So Thor's role at this summit in the next couple of days is to ensure Commander Valiant Thorham, Valiant Thorium, that's his real name, Thorium, is to ensure that the Earth's spiritual evolution is aligned with its technological awakening. And according to what he told me is that, yes, they do believe that the Earth's spiritual awakening and evolution is no longer, falling behind the technological development, but it is pretty balanced, okay, which is good. So the assembly of the Jupiter Command is also going to be in the next 2 days at the meeting, represented by the United Federation of Planets, which is the central governing body of hundreds of solar systems that, of course, pertain to our quadrant, our local star quadrant. And their attendance confirms that the Earth is on the verge of being granted full membership status, pending successful integration into the United Federation of Planets, okay, which is really good. We want to be part of the Association of Worlds, consisting of 600 worlds so far within our local star cluster. And we also want to be part of the United Federation of Planets, consisting of our local star clusters pertaining to our galactic quadrant, okay? That's important. So the primary objective of this summit meeting is the planning and execution of cosmic disclosure, the global revelation of humanity's true interstellar origins, and the existence of extraterrestrial civilizations, and not to mention all the suppressed technologies, and the truth about the multidimensional war that has been waged in secret for millions and billions of years. For those that have taken my presentations, you know what I'm talking about, okay? So, secondary objective of this meeting that is going to be taking place in Mars includes establishing diplomatic protocols for the Earth's engagement with off-world civilizations in the near future, discussing the decompartmentalization of advanced technology held in black projects for many centuries or decades, coordinating global communication strategies to prepare the Earth's population for first contact, which is part of the disclosure, outlining defense mechanisms to neutralize planetary threats still operating in the shadows, aligning spiritual principles with cosmic law to ensure humanity's evolution is both ethical and sustainable. So, moving on this path forward, my friends, as the Earth becomes part of this great galactic reunion, okay, the Summit of Mars is not merely a meeting of leaders. It is the fulfillment of a prophecy, the culmination of timelines, or lifetimes rather, of preparation for those on Earth and beyond. For too long, humanity has been kept in artificial ignorance, right? Bounded by limited paradigms and manipulated by hidden hands, as revealed in my book, The Secret Government. But now the veil is going to be gone. So, as the Atlas delegation, the Jedi Admirals, and the galactic leadership gather under the secure domes of Prime Arius, the main off-world colony in Mars, the countdown to full planetary awakening is going to accelerate on planet Earth, guys, okay? The decisions made during those 2 days will ripple through time, affecting disclosure on the positive timeline trajectory. And yes, my friends, today is October 1st, 2025. We are steadily on a positive timeline trajectory. It's also going to enable new policy for spiritual matters and to verify identity of the human race to the rest of the galactic community, okay? So, again, the decision being made in the next 2 days will ripple through time, affecting disclosure, policy, spiritual advancement, and the very identity of the human race to the entire galactic community. So Earth is not alone, okay? And now, finally, we are being welcomed home. Well, guys, in addition to that, I don't know if you guys heard, but if you guys even watched the entire, let's just call it public meeting that took place yesterday in Virginia, but Mr. Trump, President Trump, let's just call him president, he did admit that he was president for all 3 terms. I don't know if you guys caught that, but well, check this out, guys, okay? So yesterday at the Marine Corps base in Quantico, Virginia, President Donald J. Trump delivered what may one day be regarded as one of the most consequential speeches in modern American history, okay? Proving the existence of the Q operation. Standing beside, of course, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, and facing an audience of America's top military brass, generals, admirals, and special operation leaders, Trump made statements that actually stunned those that were paying attention. Well, in an atmosphere of thick with secrecy and tension, he did confirm what his most loyal supporters had long believed, right? That he was the chief and commander for 3 consecutive terms, right? The continuity of government, right? That he never relinquished control of the republic. And of course, we knew that, but he revealed it yesterday at the meeting. So Quantico, right, is not just a military or what we call a Marine base. It houses the Marine Corps Intelligence Operations, FBI Counter-Terror Training, and Elite Special Forces Command. Did you guys know that? Well, Trump yesterday, delivering his speech at Quantico, sending a direct message to the very infrastructure of the U.S. military and intelligence community operating behind the curtains since, of course, what we called the stolen ELECTIN 2020. What happened, right? Well, Trump's words echoed like a cipher. He said, I was 45, 46, and 47 on paper, okay, that he was not only the 45th president, but that Brandon was listed, that was not listed as a 46th president, okay? And when you really think about this, guys, this was the dash between 45 and 47, right? The controlled interval in which the American public was allowed to witness the deep state's full rollout, right? The elites thought that they had seized power, but in reality, they were operating inside a containment operation. Well, Trump did not lose the 2020 election. Let's just be real, right? He staged the loss to expose the system. Well, under emergency powers and military continuity protocol, he maintained control behind the scenes while Brandon acted as the visible head of state. Well, the roots of this shadow presidency could actually be traceable back to Executive Order 13848, which was signed on September 12, 2018, right? Which declared a national emergency over foreign election interference. This order, combined with companion directives, granted Trump sweeping powers to seize assets, monitor communications, and deploy the National Guard to secure the elections. Well, Brandon could have canceled the order if he wanted to when he stole the election in 2020, but he couldn't because he didn't. He couldn't, right? It was never in his power to cancel. Let's just say it that way. So under these authorities, Trump built a shadow command structure, military intelligence units, the National Guard cyber teams, and special forces were actually tasked with collecting real-time election data using analog systems immune to hacking. And this is the unpublicized data behind Trump's cryptic assurance when he said, "We have it all. We've caught them all." Well, while the corporate press depicted a normal presidency under Brandon. Trump's covert operations codename programs such as Operation Safeguard and Project Raindrop dismantled all the trafficking networks, right? The cartel arms pipelines, and foreign influence operations. Homeland Security insiders whispered of trafficking little ones, right, that were rescued from the tunnels under border facilities. High-ranking cartel members quietly moved to what we call Gitmo and foreign NGOs funneling money into U.S. destabilization campaigns that were being quietly defunded or raided. Well, this is why Trump survived multiple assassination attempts, including the 2024 Florida golf course plot and relentless legal attacks, okay? Because he was always president. As he revealed yesterday, he was 45, 46, and 47. So, in essence, guys, we do know that 45, 46, and 47 had been running a live operation to dismantle entrenched power systems in real time, okay? The evidence is visible in his security. So throughout 2024 into 2025, Trump's convoys dwarfed even Brandon's C-17 Globemaster III transport planes, normally reserved for a sitting commander-in-chief, were filmed moving Trump's motorcade. Well, no other former president receives this level of active military logistics. Let's be real. Okay? Trump has openly used the unaltered seal of president of the United States on podiums, golf courts, and materials. Golf carts, I meant to say, and materials. Well, under Section 18, USC, and 713, Section 5, CFR, and 2635.702, unauthorized use of this seal is a federal offense punishable by prison time. And this is the reason why Brandon couldn't use it, because in essence, he was not our president, right? Under the continuity of government, Trump was our president since 2020, okay? Yet no charges have ever been brought because Brandon couldn't use these, okay? In 2025, Trump authorized naval operations in the Caribbean, intercepting cartel vessels, airstrikes against Houthi missile platforms in Yemen, and clandestine rescues of kidnapped Americans in Eastern Europe and South America. Well, these operations are credited to the Pentagon, but follow the footprints of Trump's earlier warnings and strategies. Now, one of the most perhaps revelations that he did deliver yesterday, or perhaps what we call a shocking element of the Quantico speech, was when Trump openly revealed, or at least alluded to, the advanced technology inherited at the top secret program known as Solar Warden. Now, he didn't say Solar Warden, but he did say that we have some sort of interstellar defense initiative. Well, he didn't say it that way. Okay, let's just be real, guys, okay? Trump did say that the reason he sent those submarines over to Russia when Putin used the N-word, which is nuclear, they couldn't detect it because it was invincible, okay? They couldn't detect our submarines. And he said that no other government has this ability, right? This cloaking ability, but we do. Well, why do you guys think we have this cloaking ability? Because we are using advanced interstellar technology that was inherited through Solar Warden at the highest levels of Space Force. That's fascinating, okay? Well, according to insiders, Trump did assure his generals, admirals, and commanders that America's submarines and naval assets are now equipped with not only stealth and propulsion systems undetectable by any other country, and he even stated that these other countries don't even match the type of technology that we have, okay? So yes, guys, we are the most powerful country on the planet, thanks to Solar Warden. Through the Space Force, Trump signaled that the U.S. has integrated advanced derived technologies into its uppermost command structures, ensuring technological superiority in sea, air, cyber, and space domains. Okay. And of course, this was left off the record. This is when they shut the cameras. So now I'm reporting on the private meetings that took place yesterday at Quantico, Virginia. The implication was very clear. No adversary on Earth or beyond has the ability to neutralize America's new innovation and our true capacity or capabilities. Okay. So it's like we flipped it on the Nazis, right? The Nazis were the first ones to inherit the advanced alien tech that they used over the 1955 flyover in the Capitol, if you guys remember. Well, now we're using the same tactics on whoever threatens us, whether it's Russia. And of course, we know that at the highest level, Putin is a lion. So Putin is also being briefed by the Galactic Alliance to not pursue the war. In fact, where all this is heading, guys, is the diminishing of the European war between Ukraine and Russia, okay? Which, again, I believe will win Trump a Nobel Peace Prize. And he even mentioned that he doesn't want the Nobel Peace Prize. He wants to give it to our military or the American people, which was very humble of him. Anyways, Trump's Quantico address was not merely symbolic. It was a curtain lift by proclaiming overall that he was always president, 45, 46, and 47, before the nation's top military leadership. Okay. Trump signaled the transition from shadow war to public action. The global elites, financial cartels, trafficking networks, unelected bureaucrats believed Trump was gone when in reality he was operating as the real commander-in-chief from 2020 to 2024. Okay? So Trump's message overall to the military and the public was clear that the deep state has nowhere to go, okay? That their time is up and that now we are going to be using superior technology to make sure that there is no third world war, okay? And that America holds the upper hand when it comes to advanced capabilities in the skies, beneath the seas, and beyond our planet, okay? Alluding to Solar Warden. And yes, even though we have Russian representatives and representatives from the Republic of China in opposition to the CCP that are also involved with Solar Warden, the primary allegiance or the primary department that runs Solar Warden is our U.S. naval fleet, okay, which was originally Solar Warden was originally established by our own naval fleet in the 1960s, early 1960s. So, this is a great time to be alive, guys. You know, even this flop that took place a few days ago when, again, the first level of Space Force, unmistakably not knowing that it was a benevolent interstellar craft, launched some sort of a, attack. This all happened for a reason. When you really think about it, if that wouldn't have happened, they would have not had that special meeting that took place yesterday to begin sealing the gaps between the third level, which is cosmic clearance, the second and the first, which in turn, again, is going to lead to a public disclosure of all this cosmic information eventually. Okay, that's where all this is heading, guys. So I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, but I am wearing my Lion of Judah representing the house of King David, a gift that was given to me by Galactic Jedi Valentina Sunshine. If she's out there, big shout out to Valentina Sunshine. How you doing, sister? I also want to welcome Jesus the Christ, overseer and advocate of the first major creation. Michael the Archangel, overseer and advocate of the 12 universe, which we are a part of. Of Of course, my Conscious Life Expo Award, which was won thanks to you guys, and my Golden Lion, representing the restoration of the house of Lyra back to the earth. In either case, guys, I do want to remind you guys that there is this amazing holistic product that completely eliminates the graphene, all the nanotech, all the elements, bad elements, including mercury and, of course, parasites and radiation from your body, known as Folium. And I was informed by Bobry Orwin that Folium PX is back. You guys could start ordering Folium PX. So all three of these are now in stock, okay? Now, bear in mind that even though all three are in stock, there is a high demand for Folium right now, guys. There is a very high demand. So it's all about first come, first serve status. And I always put the link in the description, okay? Make sure that your bodies are detoxed. This is the best thing ever to take. I've been taking it for over 2.5 years now, and I love it, okay? So yeah, I always put the link in the description. And then, of course, I always post it in the comments. I pin it in the comments, rather. Anything else? Yeah, it's time for Q&A. Let's see who's here. Let me acknowledge some of you guys today. I have run out of water. My lovey, if you could hear me, can you please bring me water? Thank you. I see Diana77 in the house, Kellyanne S in the house, Deborah Wees, Lily, Sam Sid, William Ryan, Just Shill, of course, Starcadian, welcome, and thank you so much for being a moderator. Sandy Foster, Tony Korech, Deborah Wees, Meg, Sophia Glory, Melissa by Design, MJF, Baby Blue Notes, and all 3,100 freedom fighters that are in the house. Awesome. This is great. Thank you so much for the water. All right. As you guys know, this is the time to answer questions. So please type your questions in capital letters so that I could bypass the chat. Tony Korech says, you're Ishmael. You're the main brother. I really love what you do, man. God bless you. Keep speaking the truth. You are so welcome, Brother Tony. I appreciate that compliment. Thank you. First super chat of the evening is given by Aaron. What's up, Aaron? Hey, Ishmael, could you please tell your moderator to not ban people for talking about 3i Atlas? After I spoke about it, he came to me aggressively and then banned me for no reason. Sure. Starcadian, did you hear that? If you could not ban people for speaking about 3i Atlas, that would be greatly appreciated. The whole purpose of being a moderator is to ban the NPCs and the trolls that are saying nasty things either about me, my lovey, or anybody. But if they're talking about 3i Atlas, there is no need to ban them. All right? Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Okay, he says, I only timed him out, not banned. Okay, so you are not banned. You're put on timeout. So, all right. Thank you for letting me know, Starcadian. Is Quantum Majesty from Lyra? Yes, Quantum Majesty is from Lyra. This is a question from Sharon Major. And again, guys, I do appreciate the super chats. They do help out. Oh, wow. Karen Stanton. Thank you, sister, for that amazing donation. Edward Wosick, thank you so much for that donation as well, brother. I'm just looking for questions. Are the travelers on 3i Atlas feline? There are some feline, some humanoid Lyrans, Nordics, brunettes, and also those with darker tan skin. And then, of course, we also have representatives from the different star nations, like amphibians. We have dolphin people, cetaceans that live in ocean-like ecosystems. We also have Andromedans, Arcturians, and other type of human advanced civilizations that are all represented on Atlas. So no, it's not just lion people. The main crew of Atlas is humanoid. They look human. They're humanoid Lyrans. That's the best way to describe them. Good question, though. Can we see the cats again? Sure, bring them over. You guys want to see my new kitties?
I'm gonna have to find them.
You're gonna have to find them. All right, this is a good question from Road Ready TCP. How does what you say align with the Bible so well? Oh, so you're saying that what I say aligns with the Bible so well. Or how does it align with the Bible so well? Confusing. Well, the Bible does mention that the return of the host of heaven would be triggered by the restoration of the office of the Christ at the end of the cycle. So who do you guys think the host of heaven are? Exactly, right? The star nations. So in the book of Revelation, and I believe in the book of Daniel, and in another book, they do talk about the return of the host of heaven. So that's how all this information aligns with the Bible. I have another super chat from Heartland Lady. Thank you so much, Heartland Lady. Why are they still allowed to spray us with chemtrails? Well, RFK Jr. and the White Hats are working to prevent that from happening, all right? To stop that completely, cold turkey from happening. Well, here's one of the kitties. Say hi to Rue. This is Rue, who is the head of the Lyrans. And then this is Lotus. I just want to make sure that they... and this is Lotus.
Okay.
Say hi. Oh, okay. Here you guys go. You got them? Oh, they're scratchy. It's okay. They're getting used to their new home. Anyways, okay, let's continue with the Q&A. Cheryl says they are beautiful. Thank you. Hello, Ishmael. When can we expect full disclosure? Good question. Well, now that they're bridging the gap between third level space force clearance, second level alliance operations, and first level, which is very standard, we're going to definitely be, now that we are seeing that happening, all of that is leading towards eventually releasing all this information to the general public, because the whole purpose of the meeting that is going to be taking place on Mars tomorrow, that is going to be taking place for 48 hours, it's a 2-day meeting, by the way, is about returning the Earth back into the galactic community. So I don't have a date as to when they're actually going to disclose all this information to the general public, but I do know that the meeting that is going to be happening tomorrow into the 3rd of October on Mars is all going to be about making sure that we are, that they're going to be disclosing all this information back to the general public very, very soon. Okay, so that we could have some sort of a golden age reality. Good question, though. Renee Mailham is asking, Ishmael, do you think that the inadvertent attack on 3A Atlas sped the situation up? Yes, I believe that is the reason why Pete Hegsig convened that emergency meeting. All right, what we saw yesterday on television was just the open, them just getting everybody together, talking about being fit, talking about, the Department of Defense is now the Department of War to secure peace, blah, blah, blah. That was all a show, okay? The real reason why they met was because of the accident that took place when a lower level Space Force team launched an attack on 3I Atlas, unknowingly that it was our ally, okay? So now there are, again, many members in attendance from Space Force different levels, and Galactics were there to pretty much to disclose to the different levels of Space Force the truth about our interstellar allies. So all of this is all leading towards some sort of a public disclosure and an acknowledgement of not only our galactic allies, but of the advanced interplanetary technologies. Wow. Thank you so much, Melissa Harper, for your super chat. I appreciate that, sister. Okay, I just got a flea. I just killed a flea. So we have to buy some flea spray, hun. Or flea shampoo. All right. As you guys know, my dog Athena had to be left behind because when I first signed the contract or the lease for this place, it stated in the lease strictly no pets, no animals, and so I couldn't bring her. But I called my sister yesterday to see if I could bring her, and my sister said no because she's already too attached to my nephew. And so my nephew, who is 13 years old, 12 years old, I'm sorry, has a special bond with Athena, and they do have a big backyard. I don't have a big backyard for the dog, but I do have a nice, cozy house for the kittens. So, unfortunately, I won't be able to bring Athena to my new place here in Sedona. I'm sorry, I can't. Athena and my nephew and my sister have developed a very close bond, and I don't want to take her from them anymore. So that's where Athena is, and she's better off there anyways. Okay, my sister not only has a son, but she also has she also has neighborhood kids that come and play with her all the time. Okay, so Athena's in good hands, and she has a yard to run around in. All right, Nancy Power says you could actually give your kittens a bath using Blue Dawn. It'll kill the fleas. Thank you, Caraval Pony, for your donation. Oh, yes, they finally shipped our Cosmic Origin hoodie and our Cosmic Origin hats. Guys, I ordered some of my own clothing wear on my website, our Cosmic Origin hoodie. I have shirts, I have hats to say our Cosmic Origin and Galactic Jedis, by the way. I also have Galactic Jedi wear all through my website, our cosmicorigin.com. And I just ordered some Galactic Jedi wear, which is exciting. I can't wait to wear it. All right, so let's continue with the Q&A. See, one of the kitties is already nesting on my foot. Is this, let's see if I know the difference. Is this Rue?
They're both by your foot.
They're both. Oh, look, they're both on my feet. Rue and
on your foot.
Lotus.
Lotus is behind.
Okay, so the reason one of them is named Rue because Rue is the white feline or the great white lion that is at the head of the Lyran Council in Lyra, and so that's why we named him Rue. And Lotus, well, he reminds me of a white lotus. Are you trying to like go up my my leg here, Rue? What are you trying to do? Yeah, I love you too. I love you too. Hey, little buddy, what's up? What's up, little buddy? What are you up to? Just don't scratch me. Oh my God, you and your nails. Yeah, he's attached to my socks. That's what he's doing. I guess they both love my energy. They're all over me. One of them is like attached to my my ankle, and the other one is right underneath my chair, just hanging out. All right, I do have another super chat from Vicky McBowser. What happens to our pets during our ascension? I am new to your teachings and I am so fascinated. My name is actually Vic Bozer. Ouch. All right. Rue and Lotus, you guys are really implanting your claws in my ankle. It's all right. I mean, it doesn't hurt that much. Just a little sting. Let them be. They're having fun. All right. Your question. So you want to know if your pets are going to be ascending? Yes, all animals are ascending with us. Oh, your name is actually Vicky Bozer. Nice to meet you, Vicky. Yes, all pets are going to be ascending with us, guys. Ellie Schaefer says that our kitties need a scratching post. Well, we're going to get all the supplies we need tomorrow when we go to PetSmart. So yeah, we're going to get them toys, scratching post, everything for these two little white doves. They're so beautiful, huh? Yes, all pets automatically ascend. That is correct. Thank you so much, Vicky Gray, for your super chat. Cat food money. Love you guys. Oh, thank you. I thank you so much. Yes, all these super chats are going to be invested in our new little ones, Rue and Lotus, the great white lion of Lyra, and Lotus, the white lotus. I miss Karlik's super chat. Let's see. Where's Karlik's super chat? Oh, okay. Karlik Lusik, thank you so much for your super chat. Please answer my previous super chat queue. Well, where is it? Where is your previous super chat? I'm looking for it. Hi, guys. They're so cute. Hi, guys. You guys don't mind if I pet them? Oh, they're so soft. Hi. You got such beautiful green eyes. Oh. So they decided to officially make my ankle and foot their nest, as if they're birds. All right, let's continue. No, I don't find your super chat, Vicky. Or Carla, I'm sorry. If you could retype your question, Carla, I'll go ahead and answer it. Pamela Stazek is asking me, Ishmael, I have tried many times to ask about these blinking lights by me. They seem to communicate with each other. They are always in the east. Pamela, it sounds like they're trying to make contact with you. I don't know what they are, though. You know, I guess you guys should all know that our star family is trying to make contact with us through when we meditate, of course. Not to mention, some of you guys have a galactic counterpart that is operating on 3i Atlas, and I think I revealed this last week. So through your meditation, guys, try to connect with your galactic counterpart that is operating on 3i Atlas, okay? Well, all right, this is a good question. When is 3i Atlas expected to arrive on the Earth? It's not going to land, as I revealed before. It is here to transmit the activation of the light codes over to the star seeds, and it's going to reach close proximity by December 21st. That's when it's going to be closest to the Earth to receive the transmissions. It's not going to land, guys, okay? It's not going to land. As revealed in my previous presentation, the disclosure is going to happen through the ground crew, the star people on the Earth, okay? That's how the disclosure is going to happen. Meanwhile, when the activation takes place, right around the same time, that's when I believe, the Alliance, through Project, through Starlink and Project Odin, will be disclosing the truth to the general public. All right, I do have another super chat from Nathan Taylor. He says, if two people ascend to 5D, will they have the same abilities? If they go to the same dimension, they're going to be equal in power, okay? Those that go to higher dimensions, you're going to have more abilities. So if you go to the 6th dimensional Earth, you're going to have more abilities than the 5th dimensional Earth people or the 5th dimensional starseeds, okay? Those that go to the 7th D, 8th D, you're going to have more abilities. Okay, so there's going to be different levels of superpowers depending on the dimension. Good question, though. For those that are just jumping on or just jumped on within the last 15, 20 minutes, don't forget to watch this from the beginning, okay? There's a lot of interplanetary intel that you guys need to know about as to what's happening in off-world colonies regarding 3i Atlas, Solar Warden, and the reason why the generals, admirals, and commanders had to meet yesterday with members of Space Force and Galactics, okay? All of this is leading towards a huge disclosure on the positive timeline trajectory. So don't forget to watch this from the beginning. Linda, thank you so much for your super chat. Oh, okay. The $10 super chat is going towards the little kitten toys. I'll make sure we buy them toys. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that, sister. Is Lady Maria on 3i Atlas? No, Lady Maria is not on 3i Atlas. She's the overseer of the 12 major creation of expressing the feminine aspect of the Godhead, as revealed in my book, Our Cosmic Origin, when I break down the 12 major creations. But no, she's not on Atlas. Good question, though. So Randy just texted me saying that our camera needs to be clean. Are you guys not getting a clear picture? I believe the camera's clean, right? Yeah, camera's clean. Thank you, Randy. Just read your text. Thank you so much, Thomas Day, for that donation. Again, for those that are enrolling or have enrolled in my October classes, you do get a responding email as a result of that. If it's not in your typical email, check your spam thread. This is the reason why some of the Galactic Jedis are emailing, telling me they never got the link, because sometimes it goes to your spam email. So make sure you guys check your spam email for that responding link that has the Zoom, right? So go ahead and do that. And again, for those that are just jumping on, I do have spots left for my October classes that begin the third week of October. Make sure you guys sign up. These are $1,000 courses, right? Consisting of 4 classes each course that I offer for only $100, guys. $25 a course. Knowledge is power. I'll see you guys in October. Thank you so much, Starcadian, for posting all the links to Folium, my website, or cosmicorigin.com, and so on and so forth. Appreciate that, brother. All right, this is a good question regarding the SSP breakaway groups. Will there be reparations to Earth and similar development worlds ruined by negative SSP? Yes, and that is already in place. Again, the reason the Admiral Jedis returned from their long expedition across the Milky Way was because they were out restoring a lot of the worlds that were taken over by the secret dark fleet of the Nazi Draco Alliance. Okay, and yeah, as I speak right now, a lot of primitive worlds that are located within the outer periphery of the Milky Way galaxy are also currently being restored by members of Solar Warden. And yes, all the damage will be restored as well. Good question. Are the breakaway Germans? Yeah, the breakaway German secret space program was launched in the 1940s. It was known as the Dark Fleet. That was the first secret space program. And then, of course, the ICC, the Interplanetary Corporate Conglomerate, was the second. And then Solar Warden was the third in response to the negative programs. And of course, that was conducted by members of the Galactic Alliance, Valiant Thor, and of course, William Tompkins, who was taken out a few years ago. God bless William Tompkins. I don't know if the insects and the bugs are going to ascend into the new Earth. I think the reason we have insects and bugs here in the fallen Earth reality that we're in is because, you know, they were generated by the dark, you could say, the non-cosmic black ray of Kaladin, right? Lord Samana, before he became Lucifer. So in the paradise worlds, in the golden ages, we don't have mosquito bites. We don't have black widows that are poisonous. We don't have venomous pantheons and cobras. You know, none of that stuff exists, okay? Scorpions, all of those lethal insects only exist within the worlds that have been contaminated by the non-cosmic black ray of Lord Kaladin, who was known as Samana, or Lucifer, rather. All right, guys, one more question. These kitties are just, if you guys could only see these kitties. I wish I could show you guys these kitties.
Here, let me bring down the laptop.
No, I will. I got it. Okay, ready, guys? I'm going to show you guys where these kitties are.
Baby, from the front. Here, let me take it. Let me see the laptop.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
They love Daddy.
See, they're both on me, guys. There you go. See, they're like nesting on my ankle. All right, guys. I've never done that before where I take my laptop below me, but there you guys go. The white kittings are nesting on my ankle. They found their safe haven. With that have said, I hope you guys share this far and wide. May the God Force be with you all, and I will see you guys Saturday night for another update.